Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday afternoon, everyone. Going into a quarter month end and PCE numbers tomorrow. Hey, Christo. Atlanta Braves #1 in the NL East. Cubs are winning. They might be in first place. If they don't blow it, they might be in first place for a day. Hello, everyone. Yes, it did. We'll look at NVIDIA. Hey, Daniel. Good afternoon, Jacob. Coco would be shocked if you didn't say that. Good evening, Anissa. Good trading action and MYM today. Well, good job, Sterling. Hello and welcome. All right, let's just get right to it. By the way, no Bob this afternoon. He is tied up with personal stuff, so you just get to deal with me. Personal spending coming out, core PC, personal income, and all the other PCE numbers at 7:30 tomorrow, and that is big. Forecast for the core is expected to come in the same as previous. Year over year, PCE is supposed to come in about 0.3% better, mainly due to the base effect. Month over month is actually supposed to come in 0.1% better. Personal income, supposed to contract anywhere from 0.2 to 0.4. And personal spending supposed to drop between 0.3 and 0.5, down from 1.8 prior. We got Chicago PMI, which has been deep in contraction. That comes out 15 minutes after the open. And then we have consumer sentiment, the final numbers. And the inflation expectations coming out at 9. After that, since we're now getting into planting season and everything else, grain stuff's going to start coming up for Friday. So if you're at all interested in grain futures or beans or anything else, you got to be aware of that. Rig counts at noon as always, and then we got Williams and Cook speaking. Williams still while the market is open, so that's the first official Fed speak after the PCE numbers. Hey, Pete's World. Hey, better than beer. So let's see. That's what we have. So do not ignore that tomorrow morning. Pretty big up move in some mega caps today. Pullback in some financials, mixed in some energy, some pretty decent stuff in healthcare. So that's where we sit today. Consumer cyclical, technology, and basic materials leading. The only thing that was negative slightly, 13 basis points, was financial. Were financial. Terms of next month rate hike, it's virtually 50-50. Virtually 50-50. And fear and greed right at between fear and neutral. So going into the end of the quarter. And as I pointed out, there will be more rebalancing tomorrow. There's the big roll of JP Morgan's position tomorrow. Coming up, again, we stalled out at this 40.90 area. The exact high was 40.87. I had 40.83 to 40.90 as key. And we stalled out there. Daily cycles back at the top. So we're getting overbought going into quarter's end. Closing above the 62.5. Finally, my next target, if the rally continues, can continue next week also, early next week, would be 41.08 to 41.16. So that's where we stand there. By the way, just keep an eye on this. It needs at least a 1 hour close. But and it is against the rotation zones. So it's of the lower probability variety. But that's the only little short-term pullback pattern, which could theoretically be invalidated overnight. So just keep an eye on that. Bob said he might not be on, and he was not on. So in terms of the NASDAQ, we got asked if there is a NASDAQ double top on the 1 hour. Yes, there is. Same as the S&P. It has to be triggered on at least a 1 hour close. And again, by tomorrow morning, it might be invalidated. So yes, you do have that again. I'll reiterate, against the rotation zone, so it's of the lower probability variety. But that gives a really good area to watch for potential pullback without necessarily triggering for overnight price action. And nothing's really changed from the levels earlier today. I have no idea, John. I have no idea. Dow, again, also cycles at the top, hitting overbought area. If I flip these around to, we're closing above the 62.5. Oh, well, sorry. We closed above the 62.5 yesterday. We hit the 75 today. The 75 today. So if we continue the rally, again, not necessarily tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be watching at 33,176, but the next key level is 33,346. Do we have a double in there? Yes, we do. Again, I'd shift these to the conservative side because they are against the rotation. The conservative side, since they are against the rotation zones, but those are the only topping pattern there is going into tomorrow. Russell chopping against the rotation zone. This cycles at the top. This looks very strong, like a topping pattern, and there is no double in the Russell. So I will be watching today's low. Today's low. This is one of the instances I will use the low, 1773.3. The VIX, no fear. The DAX, up at recent highs. If it breaks out, 15,558, 15,996. Key support, 15,444. The Treasury note futures, nothing yet. Nothing yet. We'll be watching. It's quarter end, though, tomorrow. I don't really use a lot of rotation entries at quarter end. Would need follow through either to trigger the double top or a rotation on Monday. The yields, was this a technical inside day? Low 353, low 3, yeah, with equal lows is well, we're calling it an inside day. So, but nothing else there. We'll be watching that 353 yield. Little rotation up in the 2 years. The 10-2s based off the futures, still holding this. You can see that why I put it up here for the futures for the sake of it, but you're better to still watch the other one. You see how the patterns are a little different. The key area for a breakdown is about minus 57 on that. Just an FYI. What else do we have? Dollar index still holding the 75 on a closing basis. Double still in play. Although if it does break down, the next major target isn't till the 101.10. Didn't do a projection here. Let's just see where that falls. Yeah, that's going to be the next support area. Crude still holding up. And the quarter getting overbought. Cycle still at the top, but from a trailing perspective, no stop hit. But I'm watching again. Tomorrow, if we peak up there, about 75 is major resistance. And then we'll have to see after Monday. Gold, by the way, the potential double top that never confirmed or triggered is off the table. It's now a triple top. So, still holding the rotation zone with the rotation up. The breakout would be watching above the most recent high, and the first target would be 2040. P copper now starting to watch its base, its little base after breaking above this little minor resistance is holding the first separation of rotation zone. So I'm watching for a breakout above about 415 there. Yen, nothing much to talk about. Euro, just a two top area, not enough of a reversal for a double top, but it would go if you did break below this key low back from Friday to 24th, would be in a rotation zone. Other than that, still expecting 109.68 pound, hitting the 87.5. Now watching for the takeout or the most recent highs. The next key top area is between the most recent highs about 124.12 and 124.50. Bitcoin, not much. Still can't sustain anything above this area. Still watching for a rollover pattern. Tesla, not much besides the gap up and then stalling out. Remember, we're going to get the delivery numbers, I guess, probably this weekend. What other things are interesting? What hello, options 22. We're nowhere near to zero, John. You can check that out yourself. Okay. Other than that, I wanted to review a couple things. And it's not going to be a super long session today. We have a potential double top in Apple. Again, potential. But I'm keeping an eye. We have a potential double top in Apple. A very slot. This almost was invalidated, but I'm still watching a potential double top in Microsoft. Potential double top in NVIDIA. AMD, no potential double top yet. Although if it were to roll over from here, it would be a head and shoulders top. If it pushes higher, then it could roll into a potential double top. So these are some big things to watch for. Not saying they ever have to trigger. Let me pull off this other, the other targets for AMD that have been hit multiple times. But there's a number of potential topping patterns. They could all disappear tomorrow. But just keeping an eye on that. Intel. Can't even speak today. A big move between yesterday and today. That's really breaking out with the SMH. Intel is late to the game though. SMH also, keep an eye. Let me just redraw it. Let's double check this. Technically still works with the first and second targets. So now none of these topping patterns have to trigger. Okay? You're also fighting the sloppy double from the, or the sloppy inverse head and shoulders from the SMH. We can take a quick look at this. That it's yeah, it's a dumpster fire. I mean, it's got no great patterns. Again, if I look like a chart like this, I just go next. Why bother with this? Unless you're trying to call a bottom, but see, there's better trades. That's what I don't get. I'm not talking about you, Sterling. That's what I don't get about people. People are like, what? Is it a buy? Let's see. It's going against the daily rotation zone. If it does pop, it goes into major overhead resistance. This is just a mess. I'd be watching more so for another potential coming out of a flag pattern that it dropped out of right against the 62.5. I'd actually be watching for a short at some point. You know, we get the close, especially on a weekly below that 62.5. Why is Russell so weak? Because small caps with where the economy is and the way the companies are positioned aren't the strongest thing to rotate in right now. So that's why I said the Russell's the first thing I'm looking for the shorts. And on breakdown moves, look into the Russell. Breakout moves are the NASDAQ, or bullish moves are NASDAQ, short, and then that can change it in the future. But for right now, bull moves are for the NASDAQ. The bear moves are for the Russell. I have no idea why Kroger's down unless something came out. I mean, did it? I have no idea. What down? How much? Why is it down after hours? I don't see Kroger. I mean, I don't know. It's not like, so that's where we sit there. That's about it going into quarter end. So we'll just keep this short and sweet, and I will be back with tomorrow morning with the PCE numbers. And maybe I'll see if Bob can jump on if there's anything interesting. I don't know if he's available or not, but we could see. So definitely try to tune in. Thoughts on energy. I'm watching for a topping pattern in crude and then going to assess the pullback. Now, overall, I'm still bullish on energy, but not necessarily on crude in the short term. Okay, I have no idea why. No idea. If anybody has any news on Kroger, man, I can't watch a news feed and do a live stream at the same time. So, well, I don't even know what this is. All right, I don't even need to get into that. I will see everyone tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic evening, and we will wrap up this quarter tomorrow. Bye for now.